buddies, it's your girl AyChristene, and today a bunch of you guys have told me about this video. Some members, some patrons, you were letting me know about, since we've been checking out Owl House, and there was, in season 2, I want to say it was episode 14 or 15, maybe. You guys will correct me down below. But Hollow Mind, right? And if you haven't seen the Owl House season 2, the Hollow Mind episode, then obviously don't watch this video. But if you clicked on this video, you probably have already seen this video, and so you just want to see, everything come together. Now, this is by Z's Vav G2, and this is titled "Belos Killed His Brother." The Owl House Hollow Mind episode. A bunch of you guys told me to check out this episode because you said he goes into a deep dive of the pictures that are inside the mind of Belos when Luz and Hunter are inside. So and I will say this, I have seen the season 3 episode 1. I've reacted to it. I don't know what's going to come first. This or that video is going to pop out first, but just letting you know that I've seen up until then. So I know who he is, but we're going to just check it out. All right. Don't forget to like the video to help me out in the algorithm. Links down below to become a member or patron. Let's go.
So we are back again.
Yeah.
This episode is just
Hunter.
so crazy that
Poor
I needed to make
Hunter.
a follow-up video on it after new information was discovered.
I
So
love
once
his
again,
eyebrows,
I
though.
mentioned this
That was
in
the
my
best.
previous video that the creator said this is one of their personal favorite episodes, and
Oh,
it's
Hollow
so easy to see
Mind?
why. There is so much in this one episode.
So
it's
many
just
things.
So much with Belos. What we're really going to be looking at here.
Yeah.
Sorry if you hear my mouse clicking. I'm going to be looking a lot of my sort of research here.
And one of you guys
Is we're
said
gonna
that
be
the mark
looking
on his face
at
is him getting
this
infected
mural,
after Lilith punches him in the
collection
nose.
of the murals taken from the backgrounds of this episode.
Okay, so we're
before we get
looking.
into this, I also want to talk about
Oh, you see him?
how Belos is a witch hunter. Kind of an interesting name, witch hunter, and then we have Hunter himself.
Yeah.
It's a little silly. So we
It's
also
crazy.
need to talk about when Belos got to the Boiling Isles. So he says in Elsewhere and Elsewhen that the human year is around 1660 or 1670.
Yeah, everyone
So
has
this
to
is
punch
around
him
the
in the
time
face.
when, Belos is sort of just getting used to the Boiling Isles, or just entering the Boiling Isles. The Salem witch trials took place in the province of Massachusetts Bay around 1692. I'm just looking up a bunch of random stuff on Google. So
20,
that's
30
like,
years
quite
after?
a few years after Belos got to the Boiling Isles, but the sort of culture and understanding of witches were still around before then. So it was still seen as something bad, even though it was before the Salem witch trials. But a lot of that was in the province of Massachusetts Bay,
Which I need to
does
learn
take
more
place
about.
in parts of Massachusetts, Maine, New Hampshire, and Connecticut. That's the important one.
I would love to
Connecticut,
visit Salem.
because Luz is
From Connecticut,
You know
yeah.
who else is from Connecticut? You know who else is actually straight up from Luz's town?
Philip.
Belos.
Belos, yeah.
And his brother. They are both
man.
from that era. So, even if it is a little premature, the children of that time would grow up into the Salem witch trials when they would be like 50 or something. So Philip, in the start of this, he's quite young. But when he's he's Philip age. When he gets to the Boiling Isles, he's like maybe in his 20s or 30s. So give or take,
I would say
30 years.
I would say
he probably would've been one of
30s,
the accusers,
'cause that
who
beard.
died because people died early back then. He probably would have been one of the accusers to point fingers at witches. So he is truly witch hunting. He is just dumb, dude. Belos is dumb. Belos is cringe. And he needs to be canceled. But there's so
I don't know
much
about
to unpack here in
he's
these murals.
horrible.
And I've seen a lot of claims about some things I just don't really understand. So maybe you can all
So now
help me
I'm
out with
looking
this.
at
So
the
we're looking
images.
At these murals here. We're starting up in the top left. If you just
Oh,
look
you
around,
see the
you can obviously see there
images
are two
like
people. One, you see Belos or Philip, who has the sort of
because they came to
brown
this
hair.
town.
That is Philip. Then you see the white-haired or blonde,
Yeah,
who
scratched
looks very
out.
similar to Hunter, and that is Belos' brother. I've been hearing people toss the name Caleb around. I know that's the fake name that Hunter used. I don't know if that was a coincidence or what, but people are calling him Caleb for some reason.
I didn't realize
don't know
that
if I
was
missed a detail about
the
that
fake name that
somewhere,
he used.
But that is a thing that people are discussing.
When he was playing
You can kind of
the derby
see
game.
little Belos and his brother sort of near an angry mob. It looks as if I can't tell, it doesn't look like they're being chased by the angry mob, but it looks almost as if they're like joining up with them or part of them. It's a little hard to tell.
I don't know if they're a part of them.
It could be them, being an angry mob against witches or something. Maybe they grew up hating witches. It's kind of hard to tell. The other one just sort of looks like a portrait. It's extremely blurry, but it looks like a portrait of the two of them.
And you see he scratched out
one where we see Belos'
he keeps
brother
scratching out his
the
face.
mask for Belos, the inner self Belos, the very miniature version. He is wearing the mask that Belos' brother here is carving. Should I just call him Caleb for now? No, I'll just call him Belos' brother because it's not even confirmed to my knowledge.
Oh, it's confirmed now. But because and this is spoilers if you haven't seen season 3 episode 1. So if you haven't seen that, then you should definitely not watch this video. But go check it out. It is on YouTube, and then come back to this video. But yeah, excuse me. So you do see because they did say how Caleb is the older brother, and how they were both, when they came to this town, they were both orphans, and orphans didn't really get good treatment back then, So I feel like it's one of those situations where hurt people. And because they were outcast, they were orphans in this town. When Ida, which that's something I want us to get back to, because they said Evelyn, right? Did they actually mean Evelyn, or do they mean Edalyn, right? In that first episode. And I'll have to watch it again to remember if Luce corrected it. But I remember I instantly was like, oh, Edalyn, right? Because the story is kind of warped a little bit. But if Ida was the one that, because she would constantly come across, no, but she was the door. She came across the door, which would have been after Philip had made the door, because Philip made the door and was going back and forth. Yeah, so no, it couldn't have been Ida. It could not have been Ida, because Philip had made the door, and then Ida would come over. And that's why specifically she was coming to that town, because Philip made the door and went back to that town. So I had said Edalyn. So when you watch that video, remember that I've realized now that it's not Ida. It can't be Ida. But yeah.
Then over here,
we can all debate the theories.
We have, it's kind of hard to really tell.
Very
but it
blurry.
Sort of looks like I see an Emperor Belos face up in the top left, and then someone is getting attacked near the bottom right, or something. Someone's leaning over. It's really hard to tell with these.
It's hard
images,
to tell, but his face is scratched out.
I'm sure a lot of this will come to light in a future episode, but still continuing moving on. Over to the right, we see Belos' brother walking up towards somebody with like a flame, and we see Belos in the background watching his brother go toward.
Right, because they said
flame.
that
maybe it's magic. I think what it is,
he was bewitched,
is maybe
is what they said.
They were transported to the Boiling Isles.
Boiling Isles, yeah.
Both of them. Maybe Philip was young when he was transported to the Boiling Isles. It's
yeah,
kind of
he
hard
was
to
young.
tell, but it seems to me that they were growing up despising witches, like that's what they were taught, and then, despite of that, Belos' brother was interested in magic.
Yeah,
so it
exactly.
Seems like if you look at one, we're gonna skip over this one because I can't really tell what's going on here. I think this is them in the Boiling Isles because you can kind of see the sort of horns. If you look in this mural here, you look at Belos.
Yeah,
and
see,
he's like Belos' brother.
I feel like he fell in love.
Somebody, like some woman.
I think he fell in love.
Probably going to be a witch or something, just some random witch or something. And Belos is extremely mad. He is a witch hunter. He hates witches.
Right.
So he's looking at this and he's like, I hate this. Why the frick is my brother marrying some frickin' witch on the Boiling Isles? And it looks like she's pregnant too. So it's like, what the frick? You like betrayed me by. Is she pregnant?
I thought that was her hip.
And then here we see over in this next one,
we
see the Belos monster sort of thing.
Over.
And it's really creepy. I imagine this is Belos' form
over Caleb
when he has been taking in palismen or whatever. So it's scary, kind of creepy. And we see Belos' brother hugging him in this form. He's like, oh, it's okay. He's hugging him. Next one over, it looks to be the woman that is from one of the previous panels. Belos' brother, who for some reason doesn't have his face cut out in this one. And then Philip with a dagger behind his back.
No.
So it seems like he's going to try and kill the witch lady. People are theorizing that this is him inviting Philip to their wedding. It's kind of hard to tell. But then we look at this image and we see that it's the brothers fighting off. They both have daggers.
So
and
then
they're fighting in this
where's
field
the
of flames.
baby?
It's still pretty hard to tell what's going
If
on.
she's
in a lot of
pregnant,
these,
if she was
but
pregnant,
they're
where's the
fighting.
baby?
The brothers fought, and then in the next one, you see that Belos' brother has fallen. That's right. He killed his
Oh
own
my
brother.
goodness.
And you can tell that it's really hard to tell just because of like the blurriness, but look at the shape of their noses. That's
The nose,
I can tell the difference. You look at Belos' brother's nose here, then look at Philip's nose here, and then look at the body on the ground. That's like near the fire, and then look at the one that is reflecting in the dagger. You can't really see their nose.
Philip's
but you
eyes.
see the one who's fallen on the ground.
Yeah,
their nose
he killed his brother.
is clearly frickin' Belos' brother.
Oh my goodness.
And then you look at the next one over, and it seems to be the
This
woman
just
from earlier
angers me.
attacking Belos, who was running away. You see like the body of the brother.
Right in the forefront.
Like ash on these. It's really, really hard to tell. I think it's blurry on purpose. But she is attacking Belos, potentially cursing him with something. It's hard to tell. And then maybe in the next panel, he is, going to meet up with witches to see if he can make himself become uncursed. Maybe he's talking with witches to try and trick them into killing them.
Yeah, she did something to him.
Sacrifices for
but he's got his book behind.
And this is when we get really, really sort of
I think this is where the plan
started.
started.
Hard to explain. So then we see right here the sigils or the glyphs, or whatever you want to call them, the glyph combos on Belos' body itself. So we've seen these in Elsewhere and Elsewhen at the end when he gets all freaky after he pulls his sleeve down and he needs the palisman to help restore it. We don't know what the palisman do. It's probably like pure magic essence, and with that pure magic essence,
and he's
able to
taking them in.
Down. But here, I was wondering.
I think this is how he was able to do magic.
Dark and creepy, but you can look just the way he's holding the knife. Right? Why is he holding the knife that way? That looks like as if he was carving.
Into
his
himself.
Own arm. Sigils.
Oh my goodness!
Because you know what will stay on your arm forever? There were no things back then. I don't think there were like tattoos back then, so you couldn't like tattoo or anything. But what would stay on your arm permanently?
Oh goodness!
More than anything else, that's a scar. So what he did was he carved magic glyphs into himself with a knife.
Oh
so that
my
he'd have
goodness!
Magic power like that. That is freaky.
That is crazy.
Straight up freaky.
That's hella dark.
Belos is human. He doesn't
that
have
is
magic.
hella
But
dark.
if he has these freaking glyphs on him, he can use those powers that he used on Luce or whatever they are. Those dark, gooey powers. It's really hard to comprehend, to be honest. But that is so creepy. The fact that he carved magic sigils, glyphs into himself.
Goodness.
That's what I think. It's not confirmed.
I mean, this is what helped him become the monster he became.
At least to my knowledge. Maybe some people will find or make some more conclusive claims. But right now, it looks like as if he carved
it does
into
look,
his own
I
hand,
see that.
and that's freaky, dude.
I
then
see
the next
that.
One, we just see him absorbing palisman.
Palisman.
But this is probably near the start when he starts needing to do it. And then we have the last two images.
And that should have been our clue.
The mask of Emperor Belos. And we see him.
It's like a more golden.
Sort of look at himself in the mirror, holding his face, and we see the dagger that he placed in this little thing. It's
the same.
I can't. There's something in the water as well. I don't really know what it is.
It's the same dagger he used to kill his brother.
So the same dagger he used to backstab his brother.
Yep.
Brother, carve magic glyphs into
his hands.
He just puts
his arms.
Puts it down into this little pail of water after he's done. That's so freaky, dude. It's so freaky.
I think it might have been affecting him right there, and so he put it down and was like
brother. And like
touching his face.
So sad because you look up near the top,
and then made
like,
Grimwalkers.
His brother loves him. He loved him.
He cared for him.
I don't think Belos adapted.
That's
a
creepy.
Isles.
That picture with the face is creepy.
This is where like Belos
with the mask.
becomes a lot more of an interesting person because rather than just a super intelligent villain, which is like what we all thought he was, we thought he was just some ancient, old man who was super wise. He's just a bitter, sour, sensitive jerk who's so stubbornly set in his ways that he needs to freaking wipe out the planet using the Collector.
You know
we don't
what?
Even know what the Collector's motivation is besides just I'm bored, let's have fun.
Right.
Bill Cipher and all that.
I do
so much.
wonder if the Collector is like his reasoning to do it is because he was trapped there. And because he was trapped, I feel like that's probably why he wants to wipe them out. But like it's wild.
Just in the background.
That is
In the
wild.
freaking background. There's another whole
Yeah.
story being told
Oh,
in the background
I didn't
of
even
another
notice any of
story.
that. I didn't even notice any of that. And you see the little one. That looks like the ghost of Caleb right there.
It's crazy. Here's another thing somebody
Mm-mm.
found. The city on the mountain where Luce and Ida trained, where Luce learned how to use the ice glyph.
Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
take
That's
a
the one
look
that he
here.
burnt
It's the
down.
same village that Belos burned down,
Oh my
trying to convince people
gosh.
that wild witches were attacking him.
Oh
So
my
it's like,
goodness.
what the heck? That's so cool how they sort of keep the same background. It's not just ruins. There's
Right.
lots and lots of ruins and so many
The
different,
lore is so
forms of
freaking
media.
deep.
But here it's like you actually just see it side by side and
Wow.
how those ruins came to be and how it was
Mm-hmm.
because of Belos.
That
It's
is
so
so
crazy. People are even
wild.
finding like old art comparisons to the collector, like the collector's character design, and
Yeah,
comparing
like
it to
the
older
Sun and Moon.
artists. And even Donna confirms that that is one of the show's biggest influences, which is just so cool.
Wow.
It is absolutely insane how many people are freaking out about this episode, and I absolutely love
Wow.
it. I am so excited to see what happens next.
I
Let
had
me know your
no
thoughts, everybody, and
idea.
please let me know if there's anything you missed, because I want to keep talking about this episode, or I'm making a video about Hunter hopefully in
And
a
you
couple of days,
see
because I really want to talk about
Belos back
Hunter.
there.
He's such an interesting character, so let me know if there's anything that I missed, because
Mm.
we'll discover it together. Well, we're gonna have to work together to find
Oh
out
goodness.
what the frick is happening with Belos' twisted freaking mind. All right, that'll
Which
be
we
it.
know.
I'll see you later,
We know
everybody. Have
now.
a good one.
Wow. So that is so wild because like in the episode when you're watching it, you're looking at what's happening in the front and you're trying, something's up with the kid and the monster, but you don't really know. There's a lot happening. So to have this whole story in the background, it's so sad. It's so sad when you essentially learn that he is and then even like the depth to it, right? The fact that uh like he I think so I don't know if that witch cursed him. I think the witch was like fighting him to fight him off, right, from killing Caleb. And then I think when he got the book is when he had, you know, decided his plan. I think he had his plan. So when he was talking to those witches, I think it was him starting his plan. Because remember, they said how he was essentially chased from town to town. Like that's when he started his diary. He started writing his diary and he was chased from town to town. People didn't like him in the towns, and it would be because of what he was doing. I think at the time he didn't hide. It wasn't until he masked up and started the whole sigil thing, that's when he was able to amass charm and become the emperor. Versus before, he was getting chased out, as we saw in the flashback. The towns did not like him. They did not like him. It's just wild to see all of this come together, bruh. So freaking wild. The fact that he killed, because when we saw in season 3 episode 1, I was like, oh no, yeah, Caleb started to like the witch. I don't know if it's the same witch that they met that he started to like and love. And I have a theory. Let me double check something. What is Ida's mother's name? That's what I want to know. Edalyn Cawthorn. Okay, and I want to see her older sister is Lilith, as we know. But I'm trying to see who her mother is. Affiliations. Oh no, that's just a thing. What's her mother's name? Oh, Gwendolyn is her mother's name. We have Gwendolyn and Edalyn. Okay. Who is Evelyn? Because Ida said how she had found the door. And I think that or it's clear that what's his name made the door because he'd come back and hid Titan's blood in in that town, right? On the earth side. So Philip made the door. The thing is, or was in the creation of, yeah, Philip made the door because he even had the eye and the symbols and stuff like that. Again, if you haven't seen the first season, or season 3, episode 1, like the spoilers are for season 3, episode 1. Wow, 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 wow. He made the door. So it's not Ida. It's not Ida. I said Ida when I reacted to it, but looking at the, like thinking back, he had made the door. She found it after he had made it. And if the lady was pregnant, right? Because that's one thing, this is the image right here. I thought it kind of looked like, well, I guess they are walking forward, right? I thought it was like I thought that they were facing the hill, not that they're walking forward, but they do look like they're walking forward. So she could be pregnant. So they could have a child, and she survived. He only killed Caleb. She survived. I hope we get to meet her or her descendant. But then one other thing I want to say, the crazy, crazy, crazy thing, the fact that he killed his brother and then created Grimwalkers based on his brother. Had so many of them, ones that he could manipulate. I can't quite put my finger on the level of disturbing that is. That he could manipulate and then kill again. He killed so many of the Grimwalkers or destroyed them. Or one thing I would like to ask. No. Because he said when they fail, he destroys them. So he continuously kills he makes them into the form of his brother, and then he continuously kills them. How disturbing is that? How disturbing is that? That has to be one of the most disturbing things that I've ever seen in an animation. The fact that he creates these Grimwalkers to be his brother, and then he kills them all over again, and he killed his brother. Wow. Wow. Let me know your thoughts down below. This video was wild. Wow. Wow. Who's this chick? Was she pregnant? Where's the baby? Who's Evelyn? Okay. Unless that name isn't correct. Who's the witch? That's what I want to know. Let me know your thoughts and theories down below. Don't forget to check out the links down below to become a member or patron. I love you guys as always, and until next time, buddies. Toodles.